Okay, so I'm going to do a short video on the remaining of these parts. Try to help anyone that's struggling to get through them. Alright, so let's do the base first. So start 2D sketch, XY plane, rectangle. I usually choose the 2-point center for something like this. It is 4.25 by 2.19. So go 4.25 tab. 2.1875 would be 3/16, so I'm using that. 2.19 would be acceptable as well. Now we've got some holes in this. Typically Inventor does no holes need to go all the way through, so I usually try to put them in the first sketch. We've also got a fillet on this. It looks like 1.13, so I might as well put that in there too. That might break my rectangle though, so I'm going to do that later. Alright, so I got 6 holes in here. 0.63 over, so it's 625 over. So I'm going to do some offsets. I think that might be the cleanest way, or I guess I could dimension them. Let's just dimension them. So circle, trying to avoid these points. I'm going to put one there, and it is 0.28, so that's 0.28. Okay, and then let's drop in 6 of them total. Where's one, another one, another one, another one, another one. Okay, then I'm going to use my constraints to make them all equal to that one. So this one, that one are equal, that one and that one are equal, that one and that one are equal. Now I could have probably put the dimension on while I was doing them. I'm trying to get you guys used to using the constraints. Okay. And this way, if I change one size, they all change. I don't have to go back and change them all. So it's a nice way to make your designs faster in the long run. Okay, so I've got that done. Now I need to locate them. So again, I'm going to locate the first one and then locate the other ones from it. So from this center point of the circle to the edge here. Looks like I missed the center point. I could have also grabbed the circle. And that is 1 5/8 and it's 2 3/16. So it's 0.28 again from the edge. 0.28 diameter and it's 0.28 from the edge. Okay. So 0.28. And this one as well, 0.28. Okay. And then, well, that dimension is not on there, so I'm going to do 1.63. That would be more correct. Can also grab the circle, not just the center point. 1.65. Okay. 1.63 is 1 5/8 typically. Okay, so the distance between these also 1 5/8. So that one to that one, 1.625. This one to this one, 1.375. Okay. And now we need to constrain and lock everything horizontally and vertically. So this one is vertical with that one. This one, if I can get it, is vertical with that one. This one is vertical with that one. It doesn't matter which one you pick first. And I need to do horizontal. That one and that one. You got then that one to that one. As long as you go, it doesn't really matter what order. As long as you eventually get to one that's dimension, that's what we're going for here. So these two are dimensions, so that's why I locked them down in a row. So those, see here, I haven't said missing a dimension, so I probably didn't tell it how close to the edge there. 6.3. So I'm missing that one dimension, looks like. And you can grab it and drag it around sometimes to see which one you're missing. That helps. 0.625. Okay. Now this one up here still got something going on. Okay, see, so evidently I missed the vertical on that one. Okay, so vertical. There we go. Okay. Alright, so that's got that done. The thickness of this thing is 0.2, so I'm going to right click finish sketch, right click extrude. And I grabbed something wrong there, right click extrude. And pick that face and 0.2. And that's done. At this point, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and throw those fillets on it while I'm at it, just so I can do them all later faster, I guess. So let's do this next everything on this thing is just a bunch of, like I said in the video, it's a bunch of rectangles that extruded up. So this one's 0.64, okay, and it goes up this minus that, and it is how it's full length is fine. Okay, so right click, new sketch, rectangle. Okay, the width of it was 4.25, and tab 0.64 on this one. Okay, so it's an actual. I missed the dimension somehow on that. Hit the buttons too quick. 0.64. There we go. Okay, finish. Nothing else on that, I don't think. Nope. Finish sketch. Extrude. Pick it. Distance is 0.16, so it's 0.36 minus 0.2, so 0.16. Okay, so that's done. Now we're going to go ahead and draw this thing on it next. So this thing is 0.25 thick, 0.56 wide, double the radius, and the overall height is that from the bottom plus that. Okay, so I'm going to let Inventor do some math for me. Draw on this face, new sketch, and I'm going to draw a 2-point rectangle again. Put it right there for now, and it was 0.56, double the radius. Okay, tab, and the thickness is 0.25. Enter location. I'm going to line it up with that other face, so I'm going to line this face up. Let's see, project geometry, project geometry. I want to make those collinear, so there's collinear. Pick that line and this line, now they're lined up, okay, and then I want to make them horizontal from this point to that point. Okay, so that's all locked in now, and then I'm going to finish sketch, and then I'm going to extrude, and I don't want it going the other direction, and it switched to cut. I don't want it to be cut, so I'm going to put it to grow, and then the overall height is 0.69 plus 0.28 for the radius. So 0.69 plus 0.28. Let Inventor do the math for me. Hit OK. And I'll just put fillets on those edges eventually. Okay, so now I've got to do that one. And that one is got a base. It's 0.99 by 1.2. And it looks like it's the height is 1.2, so that's a pretty easy one. Height is from the base again, so I'm going to do it over here, new sketch, and rectangle, and it was 1.2. It looks like the dimensions are actually on the other face, so I am going to escape out of this, back up one step, and put it on the other side, because it just looks like the dimensions are at the top of this piece right here. So I better draw it on that face. New sketch, and 2-point rectangle. Okay, and it is 1.2, tab, 0.99. Okay, and let's constrain it just like we did last time, collinear and horizontal. So it does pick through the part. You can hit F7 and actually see the part if you want to, like that. Okay. I think that's it on that one. Finish sketch. And I'm going to extrude. Okay, it's going up, and the height is 1.2 minus 0.2, so that's pretty easy. I can do that in my head. It's 1. Okay, it's got a taper, so I need to hit more. Taper is 5 degrees, so it's probably -5 because it goes in. Okay, and that one's done. I hit OK. Okay, there's a hole going through both of these, and this thing is just about done. So to do the hole, I can't put on this face because Okay, so that is coming out there, so we're going to fix that real quick. That's that extrusion. I'm going to expand that. Double click on the sketch. The overall length was 4.25. I'm going to shorten it up so it doesn't come out the back side of that other one. Change it to 4. Finish sketch. There, it's on the inside of it now. Okay, so I just expanded it and double clicked on the sketch to change it. Now to draw this hole going through there, I need to basically pick on a flat face, okay, because it's got a 0.51 hole. So I'm going to pick on this face, not the tapered face. New sketch. Okay, circle. Try to line it up with that one. It doesn't really matter. You're going to have to constrain it anyway. 0.51 is the diameter. And then we're going to constrain it. Horizontal again to the center of this. And then we'll do the distance away, which it looks like 0.69. And hopefully that'll get it. Missed it. 0.69. Got it. Okay, so that's fully constrained. Finish sketch. Right click, extrude. Cut. All. No, not all, because we don't want to go through the next piece. So distance, or we could probably do next. That's kind of dangerous. I'm just going to give it a distance of 2. I know that's going to be safe in a part like this, so I hit OK. Alright, so I've got that on there. Last thing is this face. I put a hole in it. So a couple ways to do it here, but new sketch. Circle. Find the center point. I just go like that. Draw it down so that's 0.26 diameter. Okay, then I'm going to constrain it to the midpoint of that one above it. Hopefully it's vertical. Getting pretty lucky here lately. There's vertical to that. And sometimes you got to switch horizontal and vertical. Dimension from this one to the bottom is 0.69. Okay, finish sketch. Extrude cut that through. I could have drawn that one. Well, no, that's probably the best way I did it there. Extrude. Cut. All. Okay. Alright, everything else is fillets. The whole thing. Nothing left but fillets. So fillets are piece of cake. Go to modify. Pick fillet. First one is 0.1125. That's that one. It's 1.3 rounded. So all 4 corners of that. So I pick those. You can pick through the part if you can see it. It's good luck seeing that one. There it is actually. Or you can spin the part. Okay, and then click to add. Those are done. And go off and do the rest of them. So there's a 16th all the way around this thing. There's some big ones on top here. 3.8, so 0.38 or 3.75, like that. And this one up here is 0.28. Click to add. 0.28. Keep doing that till that part's finished. Apply. Okay. When you get them all done, change it to a different material. Pick whatever material you want it to. Just make sure you save it. This is the base. Okay, so that one, make sure you finish it all the way. I did not, and you also have to create a drawing for that. Next one, we did that one already. The pins should be easy. They're just a pin, 2 circles extruded. See, there's a plunger. There's 2 different pins. I'm not going to draw those. Definitely should be able to do those without any problem whatsoever. Okay, so this toggle clamp plunger is pretty easy file. I'll do it real quick though. Part. Okay, so it's how big a diameter is this thing? 1/2 inch diameter, 3.62 long. 2D sketch, 2D sketch, XY plane, circle. Should get on the origin, 0.5. Right click, finish 2D sketch, right click, extrude, and it is 3.62. Hit OK. Alright. Okay, it does have a 60 and 45 chamfer on both sides, so chamfers are pretty easy too. So you just tell it the see here, this one is distance and angle. So the distance is 0.60, so 0.06, and the angle is probably 45. Yeah, 45. So I could have picked 0.06 on both of them, and it would have been fine, and just done distance. Okay, just like that. Hit apply. We also got to do the other side. Do one at a time. Do the same thing on the other side. I'll let you do that one. Okay. To put the threads inside there, it's got a 5/16 thread. Okay, so you go over here to, I think you can use a thread tool without a sketch, but it's just easier with a sketch. New sketch. Put a point on it, right in the middle. Finish sketch. Hole tool. Found it already. It's opening up. The new version's a little bit different, but it's got the same buttons, just they look in different spots. So the overall depth of this thing is 1.5. 1.5. Okay. It's not 3/8, it's 5/16. Okay, that's the thread. I don't want it through, I want a distance. Looks like they're both 1.5 according to that drawing. I think it'll let me do them both. There we go. Okay, so they're both threaded. I think that's it for that hole. Hit OK. Went through there. So to do this hole on the side of it, that's an easy one. You just draw it on one of these planes. Like draw it on that plane and put it in the right place. Cut it through both directions. New sketch. Circle. 0.26. Dimension it to the right location. 0.32. Horizontally constrain it. Missed it. Can hit F7 if you want to see it better. Okay, it's vertical. It switched directions on me, so vertically constrain it. Even though it's horizontal. There we go. Hit F7 to make sure it's fully constrained. Or look in the corner, but it's purple, so it is. Finish sketch. Right click, extrude. Cut. Both directions. All. Okay. Finish chamfer. Is anything else you need? And that one's done. Create a drawing. Okay, when you dimension this one, it's going to be hard to dimension that because it's like an ellipse when it cuts through there. So to dimension it, you need to share dimensions when you're into dimensioning, and that'll let you dimension that on your drawing. Or you can do a section view of it, and then it'll be round. You can dimension on the section view. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, the last one left is this one here. There's a couple ways to do this. It doesn't really tell you a taper, I don't think. No, so the best way is to just draw half of this and revolve it. So I'm going to save this thing. It is a plunger. Make sure you give it a material and figure out the weight of it. Remember, the weight is in iProperties. Physical. Update. There's your weight. Okay. Close. Make sure you give it a material. Okay, I'm going to go to new part and do this one. Start 2D sketch, XY plane. Okay, so we're just going to draw half of this. Pretty easy draw. Circle. Pick a point. It's not near far enough away. So that's about 3 inches over. Still notice some of my numbers on there I can see. Okay, it's got a 1/2 inch radius, so 1. Okay, is the diameter. Now I'm going to draw this thing. Just kind of freehand it and then add dimensions to finish it. So I'm going to draw up. And just ignore the chamfer for now. So it's a 1/2 inch. And it says the radius of this is 0.75, or the diameter is 0.75. So I need to go up 0.375. Okay, and then I need to go tangent to this thing. There, I got it. If it shows that symbol, you got it. If it doesn't, you can always use the constraint and force it with tangent. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to draw another line down across the middle of that thing. Try to, if I can get a line to grab. There we go. Trim all that off. Okay, now finish dimensioning and put the chamfer. I can't put the chamfer on until it's done. Okay, so it's missing a lot of things here. 3 point, it needs my distance, dimension. That's the depth of that. 3.28 is the overall length. Okay, that's that one. Notice it made my line longer. I don't really want that. Guess I'll trim that. Okay, and then got the radius. What else is missing? Evidently it doesn't know all these things are horizontal, so we're going to make them horizontal to there. That hopefully locked that down. We got the radius. I don't know what else it's losing, so I'm just going to start grabbing things and moving them around. So you can see it doesn't know that line on the bottom is supposed to be there. So this one evidently doesn't know it's constrained to the origin somehow. I thought I picked the origin, but I evidently didn't. So I go horizontal. That, it does know it's horizontal. I go to coincident, and I pick this point. Well, that wouldn't be right. We need collinear. Collinear is this line and that point. Try again. It's not letting me pick that origin. Let's try to pick that one maybe. This line. Not letting me pick any of those points, so let's try another one here. I think I got another idea here. I'm going to try to make horizontal. I already did that. So move this up a little bit like that. And I'm going to force it to be down there. Collinear. Where is my origin at? I don't see my origin. Well, the old standby, dimension it to 0. Let's pick that. Pick your 0 point, tell it 0. That forces it. Okay, so we've got that drawn. Now we want to revolve that thing. Finish sketch. Right click, revolve. Pick that object. Axis, pick that object. Hit OK. On this face, new sketch. And we've got a rectangle in there. It looks like it's 0.26 by 0.64. So let's draw a 2-point rectangle. 0.26, tab, 0.64. Finish sketch, extrude it 3.11 deep. Extrude cut it 3.11 deep. Okay, so that's done. Now the last thing to do on there is put that chamfer on there. This is one of those chamfers that's hard to, can't chamfer that face. So what you want to do is you want to just draw a triangle. I think I mentioned that in class. So on that face that bisects that, because the chamfer is on the other one if you look at it closely. So I'm going to do a sketch on that face, new sketch, and I'm going to draw a triangle. I'll add the dimensions here in a minute. Make sure I actually touch the triangle. I know it's 45, so right, it's 45, yep. 45, and I know from this point, if I can find it, sometimes you lose your snaps, and if you do that, you've about got to save and exit out of Inventor when that happens, and then go back in it, and then your snaps will come back on. Thought I lost mine there for a second. So the distance over to that, it's half of 0.5, so 0.25. Okay, and I got that's 45, and you don't really need a dimension on this one, but I want to fully constrain it, so just pick a number, 0.5, 1, doesn't really matter. Again, it probably doesn't know where this is, so yeah, it doesn't know where it's at. So again, I'm going to tell it that dimension is 0. Should be able to pick horizontal or collinear. Pick collinear with this and that point, or this one. Collinear those two. There we go. Okay, so that's fully constrained. I know it's 0.25 over, it's 45 degrees, so you got to kind of manually make a chamfer there. Finish sketch. Then we just cut that thing again. Extrude both directions. Okay. All cut. Kind of lost itself there, so now there it's showing up. Hit OK. So you got it. Alright, now we need to mirror that to the other side. So there's mirror. Pick the last one. Pick my mirror plane. Hopefully I got one. There's one. The middle, since I drew everything in the middle, and there I've got that part's done. Give it a material size, give it a material, find its weight. Okay, save. That thing is the handle. Okay, so this is a threaded rod. This is the same thing as those other ones, except you tell that the outside is threaded. So there really is nothing to do on it. Let's try to just do it real quick so you can kind of see. File, file, new. Too fast for it there, really. Part. Okay. 2D sketch, 2D sketch, XY plane. Just do two circles, I guess, or one, I guess, for the threaded part. Thread it all the way through, so that's 5/16. Okay, and this one is outside of it's 0.48. Finish sketch. Extrude. Right there, and it goes out 2. And then that is spirit, so expand it. You could have drawn 2 sketches too, but I'm just going to share the sketch. Extrude. Try to get them both, which it didn't. And that way, and that direction, and then it goes 0.19, which would really be 0.1875. Hit OK. Okay, now we just got to throw threads on this and probably add a chamfer. There's a chamfer, so you can just put point. So on those chamfers, if you want to, when they're 45 degrees, which most of them are, you don't necessarily, you can always just put 0.4. Oh, you can just put the distance in and be done with it. Keep it simpler, 0.06, because 45 is a standard chamfer. And you don't have to put the angle on it because it's going to be 45. Okay. To thread that, you go to create. Oh, where's threads at? Right there, thread. Pick the object. Okay, specification. It got the right one. Hit OK. Alright, and that one's done. I think that's all the parts except for 2 pins. So, right, yep, that's all of them. Make sure you create drawings for all of them, or whatever it says to do in instructions, which I think it says create drawings.